So this is like one in few introduction to the Tarot course. My name is Akiva Satnarayan. I've been actually doing reading or doing for over 2 decades um, with different forms. I'm a student of Kabbalah as well. The tarot kind of encompasses for me a lot of different things. My side as an artist, my side as a intuitive, as a healer, as a meditator, as a yogi. It just kind of it's the world, so to speak, for me anyway. Um, and up till before COVID, I was for 10 years part of the Dhyana Center, the faculty of the Dhyana Center, and I actually trained people in tarot reading, more in the focus of, since I have a background in coaching as well, more to use it as a coaching apparatus, as a practical tool, versus just an intuitive sense of self. Basically, this is an introduction to a 15-week process, and it's whether you novice or a beginner or more of a practitioner. It's basically I would say it's a very full type of journey, which I call from sparked or from the magical to manifesting and actually making one's destiny a reality. Um, and learning specifically how to guide and coach through that tool. So it's not like just a one-shot deal, but it's like a process that you go with your clients or your audience. So I look at the tarot, the cosmic spiritual tool. It's basically like numerology, which I would say that's my sharpest knife is numerology. I've been doing that for a long time, reading people's charts, as well as looking at people's timing and different areas of possibilities in their life. Through that, it's it's a tool to plot one's destiny, basically. And I look at it, it's a spiritual, mystical science. And it's basically uncovering our own intuitive ability to plot or predict or project or manifest, but also create the space or the ability to bring forth other people's needs to be looked at and shift and change. So one part is really important that I like to point out is that as a practice, tarot is a practice. It's not necessarily it's not just a tool, it's a practice. And I would say for any intuitive practitioner or healer, if you're not actually a meditator in some shape or form, or take time to pause before you form questions, and look at your possibilities, you will bring basically your subconscious or your unconscious basically to cast the questions and the inquiry. And you'll get where your unconscious mind, which usually is related to, I would say, our shadow, to conduct the journey. So I would say to anybody that does any intuitive work, if you're not actually meditating yourself or contemplating before you asking questions or before you practicing um, your craft, you will bring something else to the equation of the reality and the process. What is the tarot? I mean, so the tarot is a lot of different things. I would say in general, the I look at it, it was something that human nature has carried for millennia. Ancient Egypt has the tarot, and even before. Um, the aspect of symbols and going to the unknown and coming back to reality with some answers was something that is part of human evolution and history since the beginning of times. But the tarot, it's a deck or the form itself was created in the 14th century. It's actually its source is Chinese play card that uses elements such as ropes and clubs and coins and cups, and it was modified, it was brought into Europe in the 14th century and developed as a card play tool, or and that evolved to also to divination. The original Marseillaise deck of the 14th century developed in France and Italy, and from there started to hit hit ground. The deck itself was modified and evolved in the 19th century to its current form, which is influenced by sacred societies like a Golden Dawn that brought in Kabbalah, make the connection between the Hebrew alphabet and the tree of life, and brought in some sort of a different apparatus as a spiritual divination tool as well. Since then, I feel like in this point in time, even though still the tarot is viewed as something that is in some places still viewed as like magic or witchcraft, it's become part of much more of our culture, and it's becoming part of our culture. Um, and since the 2009, actually, there's hundreds of tarot decks have been introduced. However, a lot of them has a different cultural, social, political, and artistic, even gender focus. And I look at it as the tarot as a tool does not have a a culture. It comes from a culture, obviously, but as a symbol, but it doesn't have necessarily its symbols that can be applied to gender, to culture, to social, political, and artistic focus. And I kind of have a different, I have like, I'm kind of sometimes suspicious about if you kind of divert from the form of it or try to make it more inclined or appeal to a certain group of people, because I don't think it's maybe it's necessary marketing wise, but I don't think it's necessary in terms of like the tool itself. Why using divination tool? So as the Buddhist says, the way out is in. You need to kind of step into the unknown, unseen world to actually get some ideas and messages that are not actually bound by circumstances. And the divination tool, whether it's astrology or it's numerology or it's tarot, a third viewpoint of reality, the spiritual viewpoint or the unseen viewpoint, basically shines light on much greater vision and ability to look at whether it's a circumstance, whether it's another person, whether it's a destiny, a different point of view that is not available in the mundane way that we actually handling life, because most of the time we react to life. We're not actually coming from a place of the intuitive mind or the neutral mind in yogic terms is something that actually is need to be tapped into. It's not something that we are in it most of the time. Most of the time we are in a trajectory of negativity, and this is today it's even affirmed in terms of like the neuroscience of things. And because we have like we are designed to go negative, to go into the reactive side versus to our sage perspective or intuitive side, to actually come up with ideas, solutions, and realities that are not in the realm of the seen world. I would like to actually form what is the benefit of a tarot reading or a form of coaching that uses the tarot. One is an understanding of the 20-80% of focus in life. What does it mean, 20-80%? Again, most of the time we are focused on 80% of life that is not really, that is noise, that is not really in the heart of our focused on and our ability to come to what to the thing that's really important to us. We focus on circumstances, we focus on other people, stuff, or circumstances that are basically are self-sabotaging our own focus to actually engage in the realities and the things that really matter to us. So the tarot is actually cut through the noise a lot of time and bring a focus to the 20% that's really important in someone's life. Things that come up in a tarot reading are things that are seeds of realities that we either ignore, that we either not interested to, I would say, to engage in or to avoid, or we think we are not deserved to be engaged in. Like, for instance, the people are actually in the public eye or are famous, let's say, are people actually that for one reason or another decided they deserve to be there. I'm not talking about mistakes that bring you the spotlight. I'm talking about people who actually decided that they deserve that 20%. The other thing that a tarot reading or coaching bring is actionable strategy. It really, since it's cut through the chaff or the noise, it brings a plotting or an ability to actually look at a situation and make very quick decisions to actually take action and identify key milestone. Also, as much as we're dealing with the unseen is not unreal. the unseen, or what is behind our circumstances or physical reality, there is a real unseen reality that promotes that. And the tarot reading really bring an understanding of what is real and unreal in our expectations, in our ability to generate a desired destiny for ourselves or for others, and so on. I mean, I can talk about this. This can be just a topic. Why tarot? Why a divination tool? Why? That can be like a whole topic of engagement and conversation. So when I talk about the tarot, the third dimension that the tarot brings, it brings inspiration, high ideal, passion, truth, and that perspective can be engaged between you and a situation or circumstances. It can be utilized when it comes to relationships. There's a many application to the tarot, and because the tarot applies what we call the law of the triangle. You take the perspective of spirit into observing time and space. And this is a Kabbalistic principle. Or you look at circumstances and a desired outcome, or form a desired outcome. So the tarot in general is based, through the millennia, is based on the heroes or the heroine's journey. It's like the quest, set of challenges, set of focus, and a desired outcome. You can say a lot of movies, a lot of culture that we are engaging today is tarot based. Basically, our culture is very much influenced by this journey, an inner quest, and a desired outcome, and a desired passion to pursue and achieve. It's not just the tarot is the power of opposites, but it works the same. The tree of life or Kabbalah works on opposites. And when you look at the tarot deck, it all works on opposites. It's the production, that's like it's the Tao says, the Tao produced the one produced the two produced the three produced all married beings. Basically, three is actually the form of creativity. The tarot is numerically works as a mathematic progression of creation, you can say. The power of opposites, if I would just pick one card, but this structure repeats itself throughout the tarot. It's opposites that create a reality. It can be, it's shadow and lights, masculine and feminine, sun and moon, fire and water, thoughts and emotions, electric and magnetic. I can go on and on and on. And both of them, here's the thing, life would not be viable scientifically if we didn't actually had these opposites, because opposites create friction, it creates creation. And just a short example, the tarot moved through the tree of life as well. The tree of life is, I'm not gonna go there, in in the tarot course itself, I go through the tree of life in the relationship of it through the tarot. So, for instance, happiness or desired outcome is a function of alignment. It's a function of balance of opposites. The one is being created through understanding and wisdom in the tree of life. And it's established a new point of existence that was not existed before. So when we look at the tarot as a tool, it's basically based on the ability to look at sometimes things that contradict themselves, but that contradiction creates a new reality. So the tarot itself is a form of 22 cards which represent major secrets, and 56 cards that represent minor secrets or minor arcana. And when we look at it numerically, these 78 cards, if reduced to a single number, is equal to love. And equal love is the divine self, basically. So numerically, mathematically, the deck of card, this deck of card is about reaching a state of spirit, a state of basically looking at reality from a perspective of divine understanding. So if we look at the major arcana, the 22 basic cards, it's all a state of coming into your own, instead of spirit, is coming to your own self, to your own real self and your own reality. It's a place where you coming to understand yourself and others, not from a place of comparing, but from a place of accepting. This course is a weekly journey in which one will gain intuitive capacity and find your tarot voice, or find your reality and what you want to engage in. It's scheduled to start on July 10th. And it's scheduled to end on October 23rd, because there's 2 weeks or 3 weeks that I'm not going to be available. It's 1 hour weekly class. Each class is designed as a combination of, sorry, I didn't write it completely, measure of knowledge and practice. So if any of you interested in the course, please send me an email and express your interest. It's not necessarily something I do ongoingly, and I decided to do it because I'm working on my own tarot deck myself, and just being engaged in this world is inspired me to kind of roll out another process, invite people. The course content is learning a little bit about the background of the tarot, because it is important. This is why it is the way it is now. It's understanding I call it the spiritual engineering or blueprint of it, which is the tree of life. At least in the 19th century, that's where it shifted the deck to a different level. We're going to learn about how the cycle of seven, which I add planets and timing to the tarot, which is not in the tarot itself. It's in the tarot, but it's not actually being taught. Let me correct it. Tarot and numbers, it's a very much a numeric progression, whether it's the great secrets or the minor secrets, the elemental color and symbol in the tarot. There's a lot of symbols in the tarot. There's a lot of meanings of some of the colors and their aspect. The major arcana, the 22 major symbols, reading just with a major arcana, there can be readings just with those big picture symbols. Minor arcana, the four worlds, which is four worlds is part of the tree of life. And their elements of fire, air, water, and earth. The essence of setting up a reading, key spreads, and how to coach with the tarot itself. Logistics, it's 6 to 7 p.m. Handout will be provided. Class cost, early bird fee is $8.95. Regular is $1,200. And regular, I really appreciate you coming along, and I appreciate all the other people that came along as well. Would love to hear from you.
Thank you.